free under this system. It really is a devilish scheme. And we've got to understand it. In order to ever fix our problems, we first got to understand our problems. Then we've got to get control over those things that are causing our problems. And it's this monetary based unreality that's been shoved down our throats. This is the biggest problem we've got. And we've got to confront it because we're never going to fix it unless we confront it. Do I see humanity confronting it because of the things I'm saying? I mean, is anybody listening to me out there? Maybe one or two or three. I don't know how many people listen to me. I don't review my video. I'm sure it's not many. I don't even get any comments. But the point is that, look, folks, if I can say one thing, and that's the only reason I get on these videos and talk, is because I'm not hearing people talking the way I do. And I need to hear it. And I will say, look at this guy. Listen to this guy because they're pointing to where, we've got to go. We've got to confront this issue, okay? Because like I say, I don't have a lot of faith in the way, humanity is doing business here. And that I don't have a lot of faith that we're going to get it and that we're going to be able to demand justice, because by tolerating this, we're just going to get more and more and more. The debasement of the currency, so more poverty, more dubious war, more debt. The abortions are going to keep going on, okay? All this stuff is tied into this monetary-based unreality that's been shoved down our throats. And we've got to get it. And we've got to demand it be turned around. Are we going to? That's where I have a problem. I'm not sure we're going to. If Donald Trump got in there, and because I know he's smart enough to understand these things I'm saying and that they're true, and that I know enough about economics. I mean, I've read the great books. I mean, the Adam Smiths out there, and what really makes a nation wealthy. I understand all about that, the trade, and what capitalism is, and supply and demand, and what progress, economic progress is. Social economic progress. I know what that means. I know what it's supposed to look like, and I know we've been going the opposite direction my whole life. Since the assassination of JFK, our currency has been worth less and less and less. It's been going the opposite direction, the way that these overlords want it to go, because they're evil, they're corrupt, they're diabolical, they're evil genius is what they are. And they're just manipulating us. They're steering us down these roads that are not in our best interest, but they believe it's in their best interest, so it's logical that they keep taking us down these roads when they're insane, they're delusional. These are madmen, okay? But nevertheless, they keep, trucking along. They got false pride, they got ego, they've got their own fears that they won't confront, so they just push them off on other people by doing this. They stay in control. They keep diminishing the worth of our money, and all the problems just keep on building and building and building to this great crescendo. But I think we're hitting it now. I think with Obama in there, I think he's a biblical figure. I really do, as bizarre as that might sound to people. Things are wrapping up here. Things are winding up. They're coming to a head one way or another. They really are. And so a lot of people are kind of scared. We're all a little edgy. We're all a little, wow, what's going on? Who's going to win the election? I mean, who's going to be the president? Is Obama going to leave? Are we going to have war with Russia? There's a lot of this talk now, all these wars and rumors of wars, right out of the Bible, right out of Jesus saying just before the end of the age and the beginning of the new age, all these things would happen. So it's a time of great tumultuousness. Okay, like Jesus said, it'll be a time of trouble like there never was. And I see the love of so many people growing cold. And I think it happens more with men than women are more the nurturing ones. These are the ones that the men at this point in time, we need to kind of look to say, look how they embrace each other. They know they support each other, because men don't do that. We kind of get hard and we get kind of militant. And this is what Jesus predicted. The love of most would wax cold. So men need to break that and say, you know what? I have the right, I have the prerogative, as we all do, to love my fellow man, to really, really care. And that's it. See, if Jesus gave us permission, no, he gave us a command to love our enemies, okay? When he was admonishing the money changers for what they were doing, okay, did he pull any punches? No. So people say, well, that wasn't very loving what he did. Yes, it was loving. It's called constructive criticism. He needed to get through to them to understand that this was really sickening to God. It was repulsive, repugnant. It was unacceptable. It was untenable. And that God couldn't accept it. Just like that quote by Thomas Jefferson, the degree of tyranny you accept is the degree of tyranny you will get. Okay, so it's that same thing. See, God's between a rock and a hard spot. Yes, His grace is always there. I mean, live by the golden rule, don't hurt others. We're all going to get weak and fall and fail. We're going to, we lack self control. We rebel. We want to run. We want to escape from this unreality, understandably. And thank God, God understands us when we don't understand ourselves. He loves us when we don't love ourselves. That's a beautiful thing. If you allow that, you welcome it in. And God comes in like a flood, and He says He supports us, and He helps us to stand and make it, and to confront the issues of our day, and to be His friend. That's what we're doing. We're trying to win other friends for Him. It's very powerful. The flesh, this accounts for nothing. We're after the heart, the soul, the spirit, the mind, the affections of people. And God's love is always there for all of us. So it's all tied in. We've all got to cling and cleave to that love and to help other people understand. That's what helps me to cope greatly, is just to say, you know what? God said it's okay that I can love everybody, so that's it, man. I'm going to bless everybody. Everybody that's ever wronged me in any way, anybody that's out there that's vile, I just want them to stop being vile. I want to be like-minded with God. I want the same things for the evildoers that He wants. Okay, that's as powerful as it gets. Okay, that's all I can do. If they want to despise me, that's fine. I mean, I can't do anything about it. I don't like it. I don't like to be detested. I mean, I understand why they hate me, because I'm exposing them. But there's absolutely no ulterior motive to the videos I make. There's absolutely no monetary incentive here. Okay, so people that listen to me, at least they can know that I'm coming from the heart all the way, 100%. Nothing. I don't have any sponsors, nobody to worry about saying the wrong thing about, because I offend everybody. I offend myself. Maybe that's a good thing. I know this much, that when I was a married man, I was a much happier man, but I was a more disciplined man, because my wife kind of kept me disciplined. That's what women do. You see, that's constructive criticism. They kind of keep you on your toes, and they bring out the best in a man. A good wife, a good marriage will do that. And that's a beautiful thing. You want that. That's what a friend will do. But it's really hard. Guys are not good at that. We're really kind of antisocial. And so we don't confront each other, because we know we're so flawed and weak and failed in so many ways. There's so many things we want to overcome. We don't want to judge other people. We might want to fly off the handle and go into a fit of rage or something like that at times. But that's that macho thing. That's that ego, that false pride and all that. That's bad stuff. And we want to get away from that stuff. And the way to do that is just to be sympathetic, compassionate, merciful, and see your own failings, so that you stop focusing on others and focus on yourself, and then you will walk around and emanate that aura of power, where people don't give you a hard time, where you actually are changing at least the part of your reality that you have control of. And I think that's a blessing that we should all embrace, that idea. There's love everyone. What does that mean? Does that mean, oh, I'm so happy and loving? It's not always like that. It's very serious sometimes. I really care. It really hurts me, when people are maimed and killed in wars, and these children have to see this. What does God think? What's God's opinion about this? And what is the root problem? Are we confronting the root cause? Do we admit that it's all about the money? That for thousands of years, humanity's been trying to contend with this thing, and we failed miserably. Okay, the only way you're going to neuter or castrate Satan is to gain control over his manhood. What's his manhood? It's the money printing presses. It's the copyright to the money. That's where the power is. That's it, man. And so how different is it going to be? Are we going to have money in heaven? No. No, Satan can't rule in heaven. The two are at odds with each other. Like Jesus said, you can't serve two masters. And we've got to hate it. We've got to see this is the root of all of our problems. All these wars, all the problems, the abortions. If you hate abortions, all the debt, the national debt that's put our economy on edge, and nobody knows what's going to happen, what to invest in, and everybody's scared. I mean, and then the crime. I mean, that's huge. Huge. Could you imagine how different our system would be if God was having His way on earth? And that's coming, and that's what we need to get ready for. Okay, so sound currency, if you think that's a radical idea, that full prosperity across the board, hey, it's coming. It's coming, and it's not going to have a damn thing to do with money. We don't need it. We need to castrate Satan. And the only way we can do that is to gain control over the money printing presses, okay, basically, which is a metaphor, an allegory for all the digital, I mean, everything's issued. They have the copyright. Whose signatures? These are the people. Okay, these are the Satanists. Whether they're witting or not, this is the way it works, folks. And to them, it's only logical. I've got great power. I'm not going to relinquish it to anybody. I've got great power. I mean, I'm above the law. The man of lawlessness is revealed. These people are terribly lawless. If know about the things that Bill Clinton allegedly has done to all these women, I mean, it's disgusting, yet people just overlook it, Oh, well, boys will be boys and all this sort of thing. I mean, it's ridiculous. The entire planet is delusional because our rulers are delusional. We're all under a spell, a curse here. And the sooner we admit it, the sooner we can extricate ourselves from it. But by just going along and saying, oh, well, everything's okay, and you know what, I mean, we're going to have, history's going to be made, Hillary will get in there, and we all know she's a warmonger, and we all know that, there was that stand-down order that she was given, and she accepted in Benghazi, and, God knows, maybe Obama was involved, high-ranking black hats in the military. All this is going on. So they gave Benghazi to ISIL, and, so they incubated all these people, all these radical terrorists, the Al-Qaedas and the ISIS and the Al-Nusra, all these guys, the Wahhabis, all these type of people that are just mad. I mean, they're like them. What a perfect, exemplification of the proxy army for these people, this New World Order cabal and all their minions. Okay, these are bloodthirsty monsters, and they're going after Christians, cutting their heads off over there. Nobody's free. I mean, they're all intimidated. That's how these people roll. That's how they operate. So the man of lawlessness is out there, man. I mean, it's in high rank in the military. We had that high-ranking military commander. I forget what his position it was, but probably at least a general, just talking tough and arrogant to the Russians. I mean, this is no joke, man. Look up a video. I watched a video a while back. Russian fighter pilots or fighter jets. Watch that video and you listen to our own guys. They don't want trouble with the Russians, okay? They don't want to get into a skirmish with these people, okay? Especially if they're on the right, because our guys, too many of them are taking their own lives feeling like they were involved in stuff that wasn't right, okay? What other excuse is there? This has never happened before in history. 22 troops of veterans, former soldiers are taking their lives every day in this country. I mean, that's beyond belief. That's sickening. What's going on here? But, this is it. Our guys are done with it. We got white hats in high places, too. And they're not going to go along with these orders. So that, we should all take some comfort in that. And just knowing that, good is pushing back here. But, the good want to run, away from this thing. And the evil people are just, digging their heels in right now. Because the good don't want violence. Good people, the heart of God, the soul of God doesn't want third world war. I don't believe it's going to be nuclear. I've been saying that for many, 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 many years. Okay, that I firmly believe from the evidence, empirical evidence, okay, from testimonials, that God's involved already, okay, through angelic beings, okay. And yes, you could say, well, some of those things people have been seeing in the sky, well, those could be, higher beings, which would be these much more powerful angelic beings, imperishable. They can't be shot down, okay. So as much as our military, evil military, let's say, would like to stop, what's going on here, stop them interfering and be able to use nuclear weapons at will, God's saying no at this point in time. He's saying, no, you're not going to be able to. So people will tell you maybe it's going to go nuclear and all. That's fine. They can speculate. But I'm telling you, I don't fear that. Okay, we're at the end point here, and it's just evil is just kicking and screaming, and it doesn't want to go down. It doesn't want to go down in defeat, but it's going to, because not all the combined collective forces of darkness can stand against the light of truth, okay? Because God is good, and good is more powerful. Right is more powerful than wrong. Truth is more powerful than lies. And on in that theme. And that's why, there's good scientific evidence to prove the theory that the good guy is going to win this thing ultimately. But we're going through hell at the moment. All the good and righteous people, like Mr. Alex Jones, okay, because I know he's a good guy at heart. It's just, he gets really wound up. Maybe he needs to take more time off or something, get more introspective, meditative, whatever. But some of the close friends and family ought to confront him and don't let him, get carried away to the point where he's not remembering his roots. To just get on his knees and say, "God help me," and tame the tongue. What is written, I think it's in the book of James, where a man that can tame the tongue is perfect.